Hello everyone and welcome to the beginning of the preview series for Southag, as we're gonna go in here now with the first of the divisions, as we have a lot to cover here and a lot of stuff to come around here in the next couple of days with this patch. And we start with this division here, the first Canadian division, and that is going to be this lovely red square here. And we're gonna go over all of what is inside. As always, this is a preview build, so things are subject to change with these previews, but most of it should come around like it is right now. Only a couple of price changes here and there maybe. And yeah, let's have a look into this. 2 more videos gonna come out today, and then over the next couple of days we're gonna have the other divisions and a preview of the balance changes as always. So if you don't want to miss that, follow down below with a subscribe button and leave a like so that more people can know about this lovely DLC and all the lovely content in it coming around. So let's start, as always, with the logistics tab here, where the Canadians coming around with a really cool looking MLV truck. I really like the looks of this thing. And they got their version of the Mancut 6x6, supplied by Germany. They got some British equipment with the M577 Queen Mary. And they got some supply trucks, which I believe are American. So yeah, really a bit of a wild mix here. The M548A2, I believe we have seen them with the Americans. Chinooks coming along as well with the Canadian paint job, looking good as always here. Like the Canadian camo. Iltis, more German stuff coming along as the CV options. So only 2 CV options here, and then the Felt Depot as field supply point in their service as per usual. Infantry tab is a pretty interesting one and a pretty strong one, as it is an infantry division. And you start with their Canadian Field Military Police, or I'm not quite sure what the F stands for. 50 cults as the only MG option, no grenade launchers, no 7mm, only the good old M2 HB. Then we come to the cool part. Mod rifle leader with the SRAAW with 16 pen here and smoke grenades. A decent amount of firepower here, but that's not the important part. The good AT plus the smoke is the key part, and you come with the Grizzly, which is really fast. 100 kmh, 85 km off-road, so that is good. Has smoke, has a 50 cal and a 7.6mm MG, so decent firepower, 2 frontal armor. This is a good transport. This high speed, solid firepower, has smoke. Like, this is a nice transport, and the other motorized rifle users will use it as well. The normal ones being a 6-man squad, 1 light machine gun, and having a SRAAV, which basically is the law, coming around here, versus Carl Gustav here. Grizzlies coming in here as well, so the squad's a bit smaller. You have decent availability on these guys. Same goes for the Carl Gustav one, which is the SRAAWM again. And then you have the new weapon here that will be coming around with the French 11th Para now as well, and will be seen in one of the new French divisions as well, the Erix. And Erix is an interesting little weapon. 26 pen, that's enormous. 60% accuracy, that's pretty good. 1050 meter range, that's good as well. They are not a launcher, they are an ATGM, so they have a bit of a flight time, but with 1.5 second aim time, that is manageable. So this thing is pretty scary for any vehicle coming by. The squad itself doesn't have great firepower, it's only 6 men, so it's really a tank hunting unit, more so than a really capable infantry fighting unit, but mixing these in with the others, I think they're gonna be pretty capable. And with 60% accuracy, you might not even have to upvet them, though, yeah, going a bit higher, going a bit lower in the aim time might not be the worst thing ever anyways. So Yeah, really cool little units here. And then we have the Tank Hunter, which gets 2 SMGs and then the double Carl Gustav. Can come in one of these CH-135s with 8 hit points. As a bit of an updated QE version here. And they can also come in the COCV transport. Pioneers, they come in Iltises. The leader here being a pretty standard one, no extra weapons, 40 points, 2 availability. And they can come in the 113 A1 Dozer, which gets 1 frontal armor from the Dozer plate. Other than that, being pretty much identical with the non-Dozer version, so you should take them. You lose the amphibious trait. That's the loss there, as that thing can't swim. But you usually don't use them for amphibious operations anyways. Normal pioneers coming with double C9. That's actually a really strong pioneer. Like, maybe one of the best pioneers out there. 9 hit points is great. Double C9. Like, this is even better than the British assault pioneers. Because light machine, support machine weapons mean that they can fire on the move. Which you're gonna be a lot with these guys when you push in onto the enemy. And it means that they can fire at minimum range where medium machine guns can't fire when enemies directly on top of them. So these guys can shoot these in buildings, in building fights, and that makes them really helpful. So maybe one of the best pioneers in the game, if not the best of the like standard pioneer line. Pioneer Flame has a flamethrower, and flamethrowers got buffed. Aim time down to 2 seconds. So these are pretty viable now again. Double C9 here, pretty helpful too. 9 hit points. Can only come in the non-dozer M113A1 though. Then reservist leader. The reserve leader here coming in with some really old C5 machine guns over here. And coming with a Carl Gustav though. So that's pretty nice. The rest here, yeah, not so great. You get 3 availability on them though. Like, I would take them, I guess. With Carl Gustav and 3 availability, this is a pretty solid leader. Can come in a truck, can come in a reservist M113. That still costs you 20 points, so that's just a bit of a downgrade. The normal reserve force here with double C2, so old machine guns here as well. Not the greatest of stats here for these guys, but 10 hit points, 40 points, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay, and you get great availability. So if you need manpower, and with the 6 hit point guys up here, you might need it. These guys could be quite solid. Get a law as well, so I don't really think you want to use the military police, so getting rid of the reservist trait here is not really that viable in this deck. So yeah, you have to be a bit careful there. Then we come to the mech rifles, which come in M113 A1s. No real IFVs around here. So those are bigger squads, 11 hit points. This is a really beefy leader. They have a submachine gun, a C8, no medium machine guns or light machine guns here coming around, no C9s. They have the Carl Gustav, they have the smoke. So solid leader, 75 point, pretty expensive, but 11 hit points is nice. And then we have 8 hit point base squads here with the mech rifles, double MG and the Carl Gustav. That's pretty solid. We have the mech rifle C6, which gets 3 MGs, so that's good firepower. Has the Carl Gustav as well. 2 light machine guns, 1 medium machine gun. That's good firepower, really. Like, this is a nice blocking formation. Using these defensively mean that the enemy really can't push easily through them. And then we have the mech rifle CP escort, and that's a big 11 hit point squad again. They only have 1 machine gun though, so they still have a Carl Gustav. They are a beefy squad as well, so this is really the beefy option to push around to tank enemy shots, and they do a pretty solid job as well. Canadian ITOs currently still at 4-1. Hopefully gonna get brought up to the 5-3-2 curve. That's the new standard for ITOs. So yeah, ITOs got buffed. Canadian one should be fixed before launch or shortly after. And then TOW 2 here coming around with the classic hard hitting. So solid ATGM options as well, especially once this is at the new vet curve. The ITOs really got a nice buff of that. And should be a lot more useful, both at 0 and 1 vet. Artillery, relatively underwhelming. You get the classic 81mm mortar in M113s. You get an old 155mm howitzer. Cool looks. I like the model, but yeah, the M114 here, only 3 rounds per minute, low range, so not that top level. It is pretty affordable for its hard-hitting shells, so that's the good part about it. It's not terrible, but not amazing at its killing power. M109 with 3 rounds per minute, the classic American variant, here for the Canadians as well. So yeah, good, cool looking camo, standard M109. Tank tab is a pretty funky bunch, starting with a M113 with a recoilless rifle on top in the tank tab. I'm not so sure about that one. It looks dope, but I don't think this one will be all that great. We have an ITO variant, which already more interesting. Does have smoke launchers, so can smoke itself up. And we have the M113 Tua with the TOW2 launcher on top. Salvo length of 2, as it has 2 launchers next to each other. And yeah, C6 MG here on the side. Smoke rounds, mediocre stealth, good TOW2 launcher. Yeah, pretty much on par with what the Dutch got. So really nice one here. And then we got the Cougars, which are on the same basis as the Grizzlies, but with a solid 76mm gun on top. Good availability. Gotta see about the price. Yeah, they have 9 rounds per minute, 10 pen heat rounds. You can overwhelm enemy units. They currently have mediocre optics, bad stealth. They still might be subject to change. There are a couple of ideas around to maybe slightly buff them. We'll see how that all comes around, but for now, this is a solid little fast unit. Gonna be interesting to see how they play out. Get a leader variant here as well, with the classic winter camo for leaders. And then you have the ITO Jeep here to come around as well, with the good stealth as an option here. Lower availability, no, same availability. Yeah, actually lower in price as it has half the ammo and no 50 cal, but yeah, I still kind of would go for this just for the speed sake. And then we have a good Leo. We have a Leopard C1 with 9 frontal armor, 16 pen, so 2275 meter range. It has lower accuracy than the Leo 1A5, being a Leo 183, I believe. So, yeah, interesting looking turret here for the Canadian variant as well. But it has max range with the lower accuracy, but max range and the better German frontal armor, not the one of the Dutch, or the Belgian ones, rather. So, this one is a pretty capable little Leo, and you get 3 cards of them, so you can really fill these slots. Availability is pretty great as well. You can get 12 at max red. This is pretty nice. And you get 2 leader cards as well, so you really can just fill it out with Leos. If the Cougar is solid, then you can mix it with the Cougar as well. Decent slot availability as well for an infantry deck. So yeah, really cool mechanized deck here. We have infantry and tab already. Recon tab gonna bring us some cool stuff as well. Starting with a double sniper team. C3 plus foul scope, so that's a pretty cool one. The Recce coming around as a 3-man recon squad for 25 points. That's solid. GSR unit, 3-man GSR unit, pretty cheap, and that's nice. That's how you want to have your GSR units. So this one is really helpful spotting for you. And the Mech Recce are the bigger squad, 8 hit points. Can come in the CH-135, can come in the M113 with good optics. That has cool camo as well. So the Mech Recce here with the double C9, pretty capable recon fighting squad. The recon helicopters here, the classic 4-hit point helicopter with the CH-132. You get one with a gun down here, a Gatling gun coming along. So yeah, that that arm for the gun looks a bit odd. I think it can fold down and then shoot from down there. So not quite sure. But yeah, looks pretty interesting, but miniguns not that great currently, I feel like. So we'll see how this works. M113 Lynx is coming around with very good optics, good stealth, has a 50 cal, has a C5, very good optics. We'll see how good that is. It's slow, so I don't think it will be that great for 35 points. For 30 points maybe, but even then, yeah, very good optics. Don't know. And then the Cougar Ricky, only good optics. So this one, yeah, not. You might have to end up with the Lynx anyways. The GSR is the key part here, that you have exceptional optics infantry unit. With the others, you have to see how you fill that. You can also fill it now with a fast flying drone. 800 kmh, fast flying drone, 90 seconds autonomy, so they can't quite stay as long on the battlefield as the slow flying drones, but coming in there really fast. They fly a bit higher with the same optics, so meaning they see a bit less as well, but also are a bit harder to hit, which yeah is helpful too. So CL89 gonna be quite interesting. Gonna be interesting to see how well this one will work out. The fast flying drones in general, a really interesting new school, and yeah, the Canadair. The Canadians, I believe, never really actively used them themselves, but in this March to War timeline, as they are produced by a Canadian company, they use them as well. French and Germans will have their variants too. AA, we start with a classic, the blowpipe, but this blowpipe doesn't come alone. It comes in a CLCV blowpipe, and this is just the funniest kind of meme around. Like, there are a lot of cool units in the Canadian deck in my eyes, but this kind of is the coolest. It's such a great meme unit, especially as you can get 2 cards of them. You can just absolutely fill the space with blowpipes. You get a Javelin as well, which got cheaper, down to 30 points, so yeah, he's viable as well. You get a useful transport for the M113 LML here as well. This one doesn't have smoke. That could actually be really helpful if it would get smoke, but no smoke launches on the front. I'm a bit surprised by that. Yeah, LML, Javelin. This is decent transport for it. The platform itself is fine with the rapid fire, so could actually be decently viable. Issue is they all have to compete with the ADATs, and the ADATs is just kind of bonkers. It has 25 pen against armor, as yes, it's in the AA tab here, but it is also an ATGM carrier. And it has 2,800 meter range with 60% accuracy against ground targets with really fast flying missiles. It has smoke, so it can protect itself there as well. Both against, and it has maximum range against helicopter. 3,775 meter range against helicopter. Good range against aircraft as well, dealing 6 damage there per missile, so the 6 hit point helicopters go 1 shot down, like for example a Cobra. So this is a delete machine, and yeah, the accuracy is good. The radar means that its aim time is actually surprisingly long. Okay, usually the radar should be lower, but I guess with the 80 jams and so on, it stays at that. As yeah, the weapons are set into 1 here, and the ground target range is great. The hard-hitting capabilities against enemy vehicle, 25 pen, that's a tier 2 level of penetration. So this thing hits hard, and it just shreds through enemy. And then the last thing we have is the Skyguard, which I have seen before with Mnet, and those kind of shred as well. So that's a good little 35mm Skyguard here, which actually might be even bigger, right? Are the other ones 35mm as well, or are those 30? I actually kind of forgot, but yeah, radar guided, 2,825 meter range against helicopters, hit hard there. It's just kind of shred through helicopters. Can be decent against ground targets as well, though not sure if you really want to push it in there. And yeah, against aircraft flying over, can do the damage too. Helicopters, you start with a new cool unit here as well, the CH-135AT. Price maybe subject to change here as well, with anti-tank rockets. 38 of them. And they hit pretty hard. They say they are heat here, but they can't. They kind of work more like normal penetration rockets, because they can't shoot something that has more than 12 frontal armor frontally, but they can delete light weapons like IVs in seconds. They just shred through them. So this thing is really scary for anything that isn't heavily armored, and if they ever see side armor, they shred any heavier armor as well. So a really interesting little unit. Actually can transport units as well. And yeah, it is a delete machine against light armor. So you gotta be a bit careful when against Canadian with this as well. And then you just have a classic Toe Cobra as well, brought around by some American assistants. So that's a solid option too. Air Tap is fully Canadian and in a really interesting mix as well. We start with the CT-133 Silver Star with big rockets. Though this thing is decently fast, but only 6 hit points, 0 ECM. With 90 points, I'm not quite sure if that's really something you want to do. And it has 5 availability, so you can spam out a good couple of them. So in an air spam scenario, they might actually be viable. Like the rockets are pretty solid, 127mm. You get 8 of them, you reload them really quickly. Like that's the big thing with this thing, 32 seconds of reload time. So getting them out, shooting, getting them back, reload, coming back in. If the enemy is out of AA, this will hurt. And you have some ways of actually making them a bit more survivable. Then we have the CF-116, which are F5s, I believe, here, as bomber variants. So similar to what we know from the Dutch, though with only 10% ECM here. 2 forward 54 kilogram bombs, so that's pretty solid. Good payload there. 60 seconds reload time is the nice part about this as well. They can kill an infantry squad, come back quite quickly afterwards. You get them with the small cluster bombers as well, where they can kill IVs or damage tanks, and also quick reload time here. So that's what they're useful for. And then we have the EF-101B Electric Voodoo as the ECM plane and the electronic warfare plane here that gives the other units around it higher ECM as well, maybe protecting your silver stars there. 50% ECM baseline, 1000 kmh speed, so solidly fast, solid base ECM on its own. 170 points. If you really want to go for air spam, you might use this thing, giving you all your other stuff even more ECM. But outside of that, you really have to go all out air here, I think, to really use the Electric Voodoo in a good way. And then we come to the new, absolutely beautiful family of planes, which we also will see with the Spanish, the F-18s here. In Canadian service, the CF-188, starting with the AT-1, which is an AT rocket one as well. So having AIM-9Ls, having CRV-7 FATs here as anti-tank rockets. So, as I said, they can't attack tanks frontally with more than 12 frontal armor, but everything with less than 12 frontal armor, they start to shred quite quickly. So that's the interesting part. And the platform itself is fantastic. 40% ACM, 1250 km/h speed. So this thing is pretty dang fast. Not as quite as fast as an F-15, but fast. And has the same ECM. 40% ECM is fantastic. The CF-188HE with 4 54 kilogram bombs. Those hit really hard. So that's a good bomber there. Coming in quick. 40% ECM can kill off most things with this. And you have a good cluster bomber as well. With 6 cluster bombers, that means any tank that it hits is dead. Same with the good ECM. And then we also have a fighter variant with 4 Sparrows. Good AM-7M Sparrows. With 8,475 meter range. So this is good as well. AM-9Ls are decent there on the wingtips as well. And with the good speed, with the good ECM, this is a one new high-level fighter for NATO. And really, the Canadians and the Spanish should help out in team games, breaking packed air dominance, as the F-18s are a new high-level air frame for NATO, breaking off the balance there a bit, especially as the new pack divisions don't quite get as good air, so balance there shifted for sure more into NATO's favor as it should be, and this is a really, really cool looking plane. So yeah, these are the Canadians, guys, and I'm really excited for it. This preview video went pretty long for preview videos because there are so many new units in here and a full-on new nation. The voice line's gonna be both in English Canadian and also with the Quebec and French coming around as well. So nice mix there too. And yeah, you have some new indigenous designs, obviously, especially the ADATs. You have some funny new memes. You have some really cool new air assets, some new mechanics like the AT rockets. So yeah, all of this should make this a pretty cool division. And let me know down below, what is your favorite division of the Southag ones? Is the Canadian it? And what is the thing you look the most forward to here? So thanks for watching, everyone, and see you in the next one.